Alright guys, in today's video I'll be showing you guys how to edit like Ali Abdaal, just like this. Let's get started. So first, bring your video in the timeline, just drag and drop. And I'll be providing you guys with the videos and all the files I'll be using in this very video. Now with the vectors icon animation, go to the left side, click on titles and generator sidebar. Scroll down, click on solids, drag custom solids in the timeline. Let's make it this length. Now go to the right side, click on this very icon. Then click on the color. Let me drag this in here and let's change that to white. Now close this. Now go to video inspector, click on that. Then go to the effects section side, click on this very box. Scroll down, we're going to use the mask for this effect. Just click on mask and key in. Then drag shape mask and drop on the custom solids. Now with this shape, we're going to shape it in a small rectangle shape. First, let's go to the right side and work on the parameters. So with feather, let's change it to 0. And now let's just bring them together nicely this way. With the curvature, we're going to use somewhere 30, 36. It works pretty cool. Then click on this transform drop down menu, or you can just use your eye to just work around it. With the scale, let's go to somewhere 25. Then we can just bring them together nicely this way. So with this done, now we need to bring in our vectors icon on it. And with that, go to the left side, scroll down. So this one, I got it on Google. I'll add the files for you guys, but you can get more clean ones on Ivato or motionarray.com. So I'm just gonna drag and drop in the timeline. Now let me just make it the same length as the custom solids for now. And we're gonna select only one or whatever we were talking in the video. So with this first one, I'm gonna select this computer. With that, we're gonna use the crop tool. Go to the right side, click on this very icon. Then let's just shape to select just the computer at the top. When that's done, click on the transform icon and then let's move it on top of this very rectangle shape. With that, we can just increase the size of it by using the all screen controls, or you can also increase using these very sliders. So I'm just gonna place it down here. Now I'm gonna bring in some text. So with that, go to the left side, click on titles and generator sidebar, scroll up, click on titles, then let's scroll down, choose basic title, drag and drop in the timeline. Click on this icon to take the transform control off. Now let's make the title the same length as this one's. Take your playhead to that very side, click on the titles, option bracket close to trim the end of it. Let's take our playhead somewhere here. Then go to the right side and click on the text inspector side. Now scroll down, let's change the color so we can see exactly what we're doing. On face, click on show, click on color and choose black. Now let's just close this, scroll up, let's write something there. I'm gonna go for Montserrat font, just click on that. And if you don't have it, you can get free ones on default.com. So with this, I'm just gonna select bold, reduce the font size of it, and then I'm gonna place it a little bit down this side. Now we're gonna make 4 more depending on what you were talking in the video. So with this, I'm just gonna select this 3, press option and drag upwards to make a duplicate. So with the top 3 selected, right click and create a compound clip. Then we can name it. Now with that one selected, we're gonna place it at this very top corner. So I'm just gonna click on this very icon and drag it to that very side. So something like this looks pretty cool. Then click on done. And now let's work on this very set. Take my playhead somewhere here, click on the vector icon. We're gonna change the vector icon. So with that, go to the right side and click on the crop icon. Then we can just stretch it and show the rest of them. So this time around, I'm gonna select something like microphone. So I'm just gonna go for that, just select that part. Then click on the transform icon and drag it to this very side. Now let's change the text to, just click on the text, go to the right side, click on the text inspector, and let's change the text over there to podcast. Now let's just reduce the font size of that a little bit. And now we're gonna make another duplicate of this once again. So I'm just gonna press Command and select this and select this once too. Now press Option and drag upwards to make a duplicate of that. So now with the top ones that we just duplicate selected, right click and create a compound clip. Let's name it Podcasts. And just like we did with the first one, we're just gonna drag it to somewhere here. And now I'm gonna repeat the same process and I'll be fast with this. Now we have something like this, and make sure you have everything on the same line. So to get that on the same line, you can click on the first one and we can see x-axis is -630. So we're gonna make sure all of them is -630. So then you can just click on the next one and check if it's not -630, then you can just click on that and then put that figure in yourself and then repeat for the rest of these three. So now we have everything lined up like that. And now we're going to animate them to come in, and we're going to use a free plugin. I'll leave a link down there below. You can download and try your hands on it. So we're going to use on the first one. And before we do that, we have to make a compound clip of all of them. I'm going to show you guys why. When I click on this, the plugin we're going to use is Tab 5A. Just click on that, drag and drop on this very one. And let's click on this transform to show you. When you click on that, you can see it starts from here. So when you put the plugin on it, the animation is going to start from this side, which we don't want that. We want it to start from this very side. So this is why we have to make a compound clip of all of them. So I'm just going to do that. Let me just click this to take it away and then delete the plugin that we just dropped on. So now right click, create a compound clip of this. Just click this, and then I'm going to do for the rest of them too. Now we've made a compound clip of all of them. So let's start with the top one. Click on that, go to Tab 5A, drag and drop on it. When you look at it, it's going to come in from the right, but we need to do some changes to the parameters. Go to the right side. On the in animation side, click that. We're going to use float from left. So it's just going to float in nicely from the left. And at the same time, it's going to add some blurry to it. So when you look down here, it has motion blur, which is really good. If you want to increase that, you can go for more to somewhere 70 or 80. And we're going to leave it at 5 seconds. But if you want it to be more than 5 seconds, you can increase it on that very side. And now with the out animation, we want it to go back at the same direction. So we're going to select float to left with the out animation and leave out seconds time to the same as it is. Now click on the top one, Command C to copy, then select the rest of the four, then Shift Command V to bring the paste attribute out. So we're going to copy just this and paste on the remaining four. Click on maintain and then click on paste. So now it's going to have the same animation just like the first one. Now there's the trick we're going to play. Take your playhead to the very starting of this very one, then go 5 frames forward, drag the second one to that very side of the playhead. Now with your playhead there, go another 5 frames forward, drag the third one to that very side, then go 5 frames forward, drag the fourth one to that very side, and I'm going to do last one. Then drag this to that very side. So when you look carefully, it's going to come in one at a time, very nice and clean. Now somewhere here, we're going to end the animation. So we're just going to drag this to this very side, drag this to that very side. So now when you look at it, all of them are going to go out at the same time. So now I'll play and show you guys what we have. So with the highlight test, I have a screenshot. You can just screenshot anything you want to use for this very tutorial, drag and drop in the timeline. Now I just want it to fill the whole timeline. So go to the right side, on special conform, choose fill. Now I'm going to move it using the x-axis to a little bit to this side. So it depends on the screenshot that you have. Yours, you might not be doing this, but with mine, it's very necessary, so I have to do that. Now go to the left side, click on the titles and generator side, scroll down, click on solids that's under generators, drag custom and drop on top of the screenshot that we have. Let's make it the same length as this. Click on that, take your playhead to this very side, press option bracket close to trim the end of it. Now go to the right side, click on video inspector. On opacity, let's take it to somewhere 70 to 75%. So you can see it darkens it a little bit. If you want the effect to be really strong, you can go for more. Now make a duplicate of this very custom solid. Press option and drag upwards. With that one selected, go to the right side, click on the generator inspector, then on color, click on that. Let's change that to white. Let's close this, go back to video inspector. On opacity, let's take it to 100%. Now go to the effects section side, click on that box, scroll up. We're gonna use mask and keying. Select shape mask, drag and drop on the top one. That's the white one that we have. With the feather, let's change it to 0. And now let's just shape it in the shape that we want. I want it to be kind of rectangle, but stretching at the same time. Now with the curvature, I'm gonna drop it down a little bit. Now on blend mode, we're going to change that. Click on the drop down menu and select overlay. So right there you can see it's going to highlight this very one. So that's why if you want the effect to be really strong, then you can click on the dark one and then increase the opacity so the effect will really pop out. Now we're going to animate this to highlight this very text. Let's move the mask to the top for the meantime. Let's say we want the animation to start from this side. We're going to take our playhead there, then go to the right side, scroll down. We're going to use transform. Make a keyframe on position. If you want to know more about keyframes, I already made a video on that. I'll leave a card up here. You can check on that later on. So with this, we're going to go 10 or 15 frames forward. Then we're going to make another keyframe on position. And this time around, we're just going to use the y-axis and drag it down to this very one. So let's say somewhere here we want it to move to this side. So we're just going to take our playhead there, and then we're going to start with another keyframe, make a keyframe on position, and it's going to lock it at that very position. Then go 10 frames forward or 15, make another keyframe and use the y-axis, drag it to the next one. So if you want more of this, you can just repeat the same process and highlight the rest of the text. Now I'm going to play and show you guys exactly how it looks like. But first, let me take the mask off. Let me click on this side and it's going to take off. Now I'll play and show you guys how it looks like. And if you want the animation to be really slow, then you can just click on the white one, Ctrl V to bring the video animation out. And then this is the first keyframe and this is the second keyframe. So if you want it to really slow down, we can just move it away from the first keyframe. And when I play and show you guys, it's gonna go slow. But if you want it to be fast, we can just move it closer to it and play and show you guys. It's gonna go really fast. So with this, first we're going to create a rectangle shape, and with that, go to the left side, click on titles and generator, scroll down, click on solids, select custom and drag and drop in the timeline. Now go to the right side, click on the generator inspector, then on color, let's change that to white. Let's close this and click on video inspector. Now go to the effect section side, and we're going to use shape mask for this. Just drag and drop on this very one. Let's close this. Now we're going to shape it nicely. With the curvature, let's go down to somewhere 10 to 20. Feather, let's change that to 0. And now let's just shape it to this very size. Now I'm going to bring in a grid line. I already created one for you guys. Link will be down there below. So with this, I name it grid line black. You can see it's dark now, so you can really see. Just drag and drop in the timeline. Let's make it the same length as this for the meantime. And with that selected, go to the right side and reduce the opacity a bit. So I think I can go for somewhere 14. So when you look carefully, it's still going to show on this very side on the screen. With that, just click on the custom, Command C to copy. Then click on the grid line, Shift Command V to bring the paste attribute out, and we're gonna paste the shape mask. Click on maintain and click on paste. Now it's gonna cut and shape it nicely on that very custom solids. The next thing, we're gonna bring in an image. This is the image I'm gonna use. Drag and drop in the timeline. Stretch it and make it the same length as the rest of them. With that selected, go to the effect section side. Click on shape mask, drag and drop on that very image. Let's close this. With the curvature, we're just gonna take it to 100%. On feather, change it to 0. Now let's try and shape it in a circular shape. So now when it looks pretty cool, then when you want to increase or reduce the size of it, make sure you press shift, and then it's going to maintain the size of it when you increase or decrease. So with this, I'm going to go for something like this. Then I just select this side of it. Now click on the transform icon, and let's just reduce the size of it on this very side to somewhere 20. Then we can just drag and drop on this side of the screen. Now close on done. So with this, we're going to add a little bit touch to it. Ali was not using that, but we're going to do it. Go to effect section side, scroll down, click on stylize. Then we're going to select drop shadow, drag and drop on that very image. So right there, when you look on the screen, let me increase so you can see. Drag it to the side. You can see it's adding some drop shadow to that very image. Let's just drag it to this very side to give it that unique look. Now click on this side and go back to fit. Now we're going to bring in our text. Let's start with the name first. Go to the left side, click on titles and generator side, scroll up, click on titles. Then we're going to select basic title on this side. Just drag and drop in the timeline. Let me close this. Now go to the right side, click on the text inspector. Let's change the color for the meantime so we can see exactly what we're doing. Select black, close that, scroll up, and now change it to your name. With the font, I'm gonna go for the same font, Montserrat, and then I'm gonna choose bold for this. Now I'm just gonna drag it and drop it on this very side of the screen. Now we're gonna bring in one more text that's gonna look like it's typing on the screen. Go to the titles on the left side. Let's search for typewriter, and it's gonna bring that out. Just drag and drop in the timeline. Make it the same length as all of them. Just like we did, let's change the color. Go to the left side, on face, click on show, and then change the color on this side to black. Let's close this. Now scroll up. So I just went to Google, copied some text and paste on this side. So first of all, let's just change the font of it to Montserrat, and then we're going to leave it at regular. And with this text, we're going to play around it a lot to have that look. So first of all, let's just reduce the size of it a bit. Then on this very side, let's just make sure it's looking like a straight form so it will fit on this very canvas. So with this, I'm just going to press enter on this side, then take my player to somewhere here, press enter. Now I'm just going to delete the last sentence. I'm not going to use that. So now we have something like this. Let's just reduce the size of it more so it's going to fit on this very side of the screen. Now when you play and see how it looks like. So you can see it goes really fast. Let's slow that down. With that, go to the generator inspector side on the right side. Duration, let's just increase that to somewhere 120. Now when you look at Ali's edit, it has this shaking to it when it comes in on the screen, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. With that, go to the left side, scroll down, and we're going to use this very plugin, MCamRig. Just click on that. Let's close this search box. Drag and drop in the timeline. And with this, it's also free. It comes from Motion VFS. I've already done a video on that. I'll leave a card up here. It's really a good plugin and it's free too. So with that, we're going to make it the same length as all of them, and then we're going to change some parameters on this. Go to the right side, in animation and out, turn it off. Scroll down, camera angle of view, change it to 0. Then blur amount, let's take that to 0 too. Then scroll down, Background opacity, take it to 0. We don't need that. Then scroll up. This is the effect we need. Wriggle on and off. Make sure you turn that on. Then with the strength, we're gonna take it really down. So we don't want it to be that much on the screen. With the noisiness, we're just gonna go down a bit on that. And the frequency too, we're gonna dial it down. And then you can play and check how it looks like. So when you look carefully, it's moving a little bit slowly. That's how we want it. When you are happy with that, select all and create a compound clip. Now we're gonna bring in our video. With that, go to your library, and I'm gonna use this video. I'm just gonna drag and drop it under this very typing text. Let me just drag it and make it the same length for now. Click on the top, the typing text, press V to disable it for now. And when you look at it, we shot it in horizontal, and that's the only way for this effect to really work. I'm gonna show you guys. Now with that video selected, just go to the right side, scroll down, on spatial conform, select fill on that side. So now when you can see, it zooms in nicely to the screen. Now we want it to be in the middle depending on the video you are using. I'm gonna move the x-axis a little bit so I will be in the center. Now click on this one, press V to enable it, and then with that one selected, go to the right side on x-axis, drag it till it disappears on the screen. So when you look carefully, it's gonna be on this side. I'm gonna click on this icon so you can see where it is. If you're not seeing this, you can click on this icon and it's gonna show you exactly where it is. Now let's just close that. So we're gonna do some animation to this to come in when we are doing the talking. And we want the animation to start from this very side. Take your playhead there, and with that selected, press M to drop a marker there. Then we can go 20 to 25 frames forward. Drop another marker there. We're gonna use the marker as a guide. Now take your playhead to the first marker we created, and then with the typing text selected, go to the right side, make a keyframe on position. Then take your playhead to the last marker and make another keyframe on position. And this time around, you can use the x-axis and drag it till it comes on the screen. Now we're gonna do the same animation with this very down video, and we're gonna maintain the same animation intervals. Take your playhead to the first marker, click on the video, then go to the right side and make a keyframe on position. Then take your playhead to the second marker, and still with the video selected, this time around we're gonna drag the x-axis to this very side. And then automatically it's going to drop a keyframe on that very side. And when you look at it, we still have some space on this side on this video because we shot on horizontal format. Now when I play the tool and show you guys how it looks like. Now one last thing, we want it to look blurry when the animation is happening. And with that, I'm going to go to the left side, click on titles and generator side. Scroll down. I'm going to use this very effect, motion blur. You can get some free ones online. I'll leave a link to some good ones down there below. So with that, I'm just going to drag it and make sure it's on where the animation is happening. And then I'm just going to drag it to this very side. And motion blur is really strong, so always make sure it's the last thing you do. Or when you drop it, you can just disable it and later enable it so your machine will be able to work smoothly. And now this is how it looks like. Now if you want to know how to edit like pro YouTubers, you can check on this playlist. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.